it's Ashley Bookishram, and I am back with another video, but today I am here to do my June book haul. I don't think I've done a book haul video in such a long time, so I decided that I had a little bit of extra change in my pocket, and I decided to place an order with Thrift Books. I've already taken everything out of the packaging because it would have been forever for me to have to wait to open the stuff, considering I was waiting for camera setup and whatnot. So I went ahead and opened everything. Like I said, if you did not know, Thrift Books is a really great used bookstore company. They have books from all different types of genres, different authors, whatever the case may be, and they sell them at different prices, and usually they come like kind of like on Amazon, where they tell you whether they're good, very good, acceptable, whatever the case may be. And all their books start at like $3 and some change. So with the books that I got, since I shop with Thrift Books so much, and they're by no means like sponsoring this video or anything like that, but since I shop with them so much, I always have a lot of like gift cards and certificates to use, or like reward points. That's the better term, reward points. So since I always have like a lot of reward points to use for them, I used it in this order. So I got, let me count. Okay, so I got 10 books for $27. So we're looking at a little bit about maybe like $2.50, $2.75 a piece when it all rounds out, which is really great, and I'm absolutely excited. So this book haul is unlike a lot of book hauls that I've done where I've mixed in middle grade, YA, children's, and adult. This is going to be strictly adult. They're all mass market paperbacks, and I focus on romance and cozy mysteries. So for some reason also, I've really been into reading cozy mysteries and romance books. I think I just kind of wore myself out a little bit on fantasy, although 2 of these in here can be considered urban fantasy. But as far as like the 500, 600, 800 page like huge fantasies, I just wanted something a little different. So maybe if I was going to read fantasy, I wanted to try a different genre of fantasy or subgenre of fantasy, like urban fantasy. But let me stop rambling and get to the books that I have. I will try to give you a good description. I'm never good at that part though. So the first book that I have here is Undead and Unwed by Mary Janice Davidson. I'd heard a lot about this book on someone else's channel, and I can't exactly remember. Heard it's extremely funny, a lot of interesting content, and it's basically about a main character who gets, I believe it says here, bitten by a vampire, and she is thought to be the new vampire queen by her friends. So not only are you waking up and you're like, holy crap, I've been turned into a vampire, but then you're also possibly the vampire queen. I don't know how much it gets more sketch than that. So I'm excited to read this. It's actually not a long book. It's a little over 270 pages, and I'm hopefully picking this up soon. If I don't get it September, I definitely will be picking this up in October. The next book that I have here is one of my like paranormal romance, not so much urban fantasy, but it's a paranormal romance, and it is the Georgina Kincaid series by Richelle Mead, and this is the first book in the series called Succubus Blues, which I am really excited to get into because I've been eyeing this book for a very long time, and I don't think I've actually technically even read anything by Richelle Mead. But I do know that I wanted to pick this series up because I have not read a good vampire book in a long time, and this sounded really good, but it's not even a vampires. I don't know why I said I haven't read a good vampire book. This has nothing to do with vampires. I have not read a good book about succubi in a long time, so I'm excited to pick this up. Georgina is a succubus. She tries to live a normal life like anybody else. There's this guy that she's interested in, but of course she can't touch him, interact with him. She's a succubus. Kind of comes with the territory, and she just wants to kind of maintain. I think she works at a coffee house, or no, she works at a bookstore and gets free books, and that's what she's into. But then something happens because there are creatures that are coming out that apparently nobody wants to deal with, so now she's kind of got to handle that situation. The next book that I have here is Moon Called by Patricia Briggs, and this is a urban fantasy series. It's the Mercy Thompson series. I have been meaning to read this for like the past 2 or 3 years. I've heard nothing but great things. I know this series is extremely long at this point, but I'm still looking forward to it. It is about our main character, Mercy Thompson. She is a mechanic, but she's also a shifter, I believe. If I'm not mistaken. So there's werewolves and then there's shifters, and they run, it's 2 different things when you're looking at the 2. If I'm wrong, correct me in the comments below, but I think that's correct. And I think it just chronicles her connection to the paranormal world. So I'm really excited to read this one. I heard that Mercy Thompson is a badass character, so I'm all for female badass characters. Alright, so the next 3 books that I have here are actually all romance books, which I'm really not a huge contemporary or romance person, but for some reason I really was in the mood for romance and contemporary. So I'm going for it. I'm all in it. I've had this urge to read contemporary and be immersed in romance, and that's what I'm going for. So the first book that I have here is Milk in My Coffee by Eric Jerome Dickey. I have read one other Eric Jerome Dickey book, and that was, I'm gonna have to look it up, y'all, because I can't for the life of me. Sister Sister, that's what it is. So I listened to his other book, Sister Sister, which I believe is the first book by publication order that he's written, and this is the second one that he's ever published, and it's about a main character. It's told from a guy's perspective. His name is Jordan, and he has a girlfriend. Everything seems to be going okay. I think though in the beginning I kind of listened to that him and his girlfriend end up having some issues, and then he meets Kimberly Shavers, something along those lines, and she ends up being white. So this is about an interracial relationship, which is why it says Milk in My Coffee, which is kind of funny. I think that's hilarious. I'm really interested to see how he writes this and how this relationship ends up working. I like his writing. What I liked about his book Sister Sister is that he wrote from 3 female perspectives, and he did it in a way that you did not realize that it was a man writing it. And I really appreciate that, because sometimes when males write female characters, they start off good and then they kind of lose it. But Eric Jerome Dickey did not do that, so I'm excited to finally get the chance to pick this one up. The next book that I have here is Destiny's Embrace by Beverly Jenkins. Now, I have read one other Beverly Jenkins book, and it takes place in her Blessings world. A long series. I think it's probably about like 8 or 9 books, and I actually ended up reading the 7th one by accident before I even realized that it was a series. It was called Stepping Into a New Day, and I really enjoyed it. I read it in like a day and a half, and I just fell in love with her writing. I haven't read anything from her since, but I heard that she writes really great romance books, and this is a historical romance about a girl named Mariah who moves to California, and she ends up meeting this guy named Logan who she thinks is arrogant, so she doesn't like him. They don't get along, and I'm pretty sure that this is a hate to love romance, which I can kind of dig. Like, I kind of enjoy the hate to love romance, because they start off not liking each other, and then for some reason there's something that attracts one to another, and then it just... The next book that I have here is The Shop on Blossom Street by Debbie Macomber. I have read one other Debbie Macomber book, and it was Mr. Miracle, and I enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it because of the fact that it was just simplistic. It was easy. It felt like a breeze. I just felt really comfortable reading it. And this one seems like, you know, this is actually the first book in the Blossom Street series. So I wanted to start one of her series, and I think that Mr. Miracle is in the Angelic Intervention series, but I read it out of order because I didn't know that it was part of a series. But this one is about 4 women who start doing a knitting class together, and they each have different parts of their lives that are not really going that well, and the knitting class in some ways I believe is going to bring them together. So I like Debbie Macomber's simplistic way of writing. It's not Pulitzer Prize writing, but it is easygoing, it's relaxing, and I need a little fluff in my life right now. Alright, so the next 4 that I have are my last 4 for this haul, and they are also all cozy mysteries. So another thing that I've been craving is mysteries, and particularly cozy mysteries. I read a thriller the other day, which I rather enjoyed, but cozy mysteries have this formulaic type thing to them that I actually do enjoy. So I've been looking for some cozy mysteries to read. One is a part of a series that I've already started. It's book number 4, and the rest of them are all number 1s. The first one that I have here is The English Breakfast Murder by Laura Childs, who is a very well-known cozy mystery writer. And this is a book about, or starts with a book about a main character named Theo, and she's actually in Charleston, which is really interesting because if it's Charleston, South Carolina, that's pretty cool because I'm from Charleston. But she is out to have a good time, and then a art dealer's body washes up on the shore, and she's out to solve the mystery, which is pretty much how a lot of these cozy mysteries go. It's someone that's not really like an investigator or anything like that. They just are interested in enjoying themselves, and then they end up getting thrown into a murder case by accident, or they're connected to it somehow, some way, and then they start this sleuth process. So that's the formula, but you know, the atmosphere changes from each series, like where it takes place, the main character, side characters involved, whole 9 yards. The next one I have, I'm really excited about, and it's Death by Dumpling by Vivian Chen. And this is a newer series, if I'm not mistaken. It's called the Noodle Shop Mystery Series. And it's about a main character named Lena Lee, who ends up having to go back to work at her family's restaurant. And while she's working at her family's restaurant, a customer ends up dead from a delivery person that gave him shrimp dumplings, and he has a severe allergy to shellfish. So then they try to figure out how did they actually mess it up, because they know that he has a severe allergies to shellfish. I'm really interested in this. It seems like it's going to be good. I was looking for a lot more like diverse cozy mysteries as well, and this is one that was recommended. I believe that there is a second book out to this already, so if you are interested, this is a good series maybe to pick up since not that many books are published just yet. The next book that I have here is Lemon Meringue Pie Murder, which is the 4th book in the Hannah Swensen series. I have read books 1 through 3, or maybe this has got to be book number 4. I don't want to get it wrong. Yeah, this is book number 4. So book number 1 is Chocolate Chip Cookie Murder. Number 2, Strawberry Shortcake. 3 is Blueberry Muffin. And this is the 4th one. So I read those first 3, listened to them on audio. And of course, this is just the next book for me to follow. These books take place in Minnesota, and they follow a baker by the name of Hannah. And basically, Hannah is just in her town with her bakery, just trying to function, but someone always dies, so she's there to kind of rescue and save the day. There are a little bit of romance in this. There are 2 love interests, which is kind of like a love triangle, but both love interests know about each other, so I think that's positive. Like, they know that she's dating the other or going out on dates with the other, so that's really good. I really need to pick this up because this series is getting closer and closer, I think, to the mid-20s, if it's not already there, in number of books, so I need to hurry up and catch up. The last book that I have here is The Diva Runs Out of Time by Krista Davis, and this is the first in the Domestic Diva Mystery series, and it's about Sophie Winston. She's known for her cooking, her gourmet meals. She keeps it simple, the whole 9 yards, but she has this rival by the name of Natasha, and Natasha is a tough competitor because she is great at what she does, and she stole Sophie's husband, which is scandalous. And then Sophie, I think, was doing okay until she stumbles across a dead body, and her picture, is it her picture? Her name and her picture are inside the victim's car. So it doesn't look good for Sophie. But I'm really interested in reading this. I think I saw this in the library and I was like, this sounds really, really interesting. So I just decided to go ahead and pick it up. All right, y'all. So that is it for my book haul. I do have some other stuff coming in, but that'll all be included in my August book haul. That is pretty much it. I don't have anything else. No other books. I know it's a small, but oh well. And I think at the beginning of this video, I definitely said it's June book haul, but yeah, it's not. It's my July book haul. So I'll make sure I fix that error somewhere. All right, y'all, if you like this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more content from me, make sure you click the subscribe button. As always, if you're interested in following me on social media, whether that's Instagram, Facebook, or Twitter, or on my blog, you'll find the links below in the description box. I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Bye.